remote duel. YCS. So this should indeed be Axel Benoit playing Madolche versus Max Timm playing Tri-Brigade. We saw that. We saw in the previous match, Axel with Madolche doing really well. It's like, as I've mentioned before, he reminds me of like one of my fellow local players, like always playing the same deck, format after format, ban list after ban list. Doesn't matter how your deck is hit, you're just playing it because you like it. You're familiar with the cards, with the combos, how you play through hand traps, disruption, how you play going second against an opponent's established board, and that's what I really like. So kudos.
Theoretically, he has 9 years to practice.
That's true. Yeah.
He's not the only Madolche player booking some success. There were also some Madolche players in the remote invitationals as well that were in the top cuts.
All right. So let's see who's going first. Max is going first, so that means Tri-Brigade is going first in favor of Madolche.
Oh, it's the first time we're seeing
again.
Oh, the second time.
Yeah, correct. So we saw that Shifter put in work. It was against Gabriel, right? Gabriel Nets with Dragon Link, putting in a lot of work. So again, Dimensional Shifter, basically a Macrocosmos, banishing every card, right?
This is exactly what Axel wants.
Yeah.
What is Max even going to attempt to do here? Maybe if he has the revolt already, he can get away with a kit, but it looks like he's going to get away with a pass.
So now the thing is, something, as again we've mentioned before with Madolche, okay, Shifter is so powerful here in this particular matchup, but again, it's a monster card in your graveyard, so for now, if you have a Petting Cessor in your hand, you can't use her special summoning effect, and I think she only triggers off a special summoner, right? So let's say your normal summoner, you won't get her effect.
Ticket coming down, other cards you want to see.
Yeah, opening tickets or Chateau is not the best. You would rather want them to be searched from, let's say, a Messengelato. So Shifter.
He's just explaining what the card does. So Max, another player that is unfamiliar with the Madolches.
Right, but I mean, it's a strength, right? That's the reason why you're picking a not so common deck, because players might not just be prepared for it. They might just not expect it or play against it.
Yeah.
Might be a reason.
So, and Magellan is coming down, getting the search on the...
Might just be an Angeli or maybe petting.
He's getting the hook cake. Maybe follow up for next turn. Maybe he has Salon already. He's playing triple Salon, right? Oh, he's playing triples.
Yeah.
Right, so all Max is depending on right now is the Effect Fader and the Ashes, because he, of course, doesn't have Gamma, because it would have been activated on the Shifter. But it looks like he's going to go into the battle phase attack and pass it straight back. Not what you want to see.
This is not that strong of a Madolche turn. I mean, ideally you would... Yeah, you would just end up on like Sistart, Glass Souffle maybe, or, Chocolate, and get those beneficial special summons. And end on, a couple of Madolche spells and traps, multiple interruptions, but this is far from ideal. So he needs an extra turn, he needs the Hoot Cake to go off. So that might also be a tell he also has Petting in the hand. Because again, Hoot Cake normal summon banishes the Shifter, and that turns on the potential Petting Cessor in hand. But yeah, anyway, so Fractal.
Oh, he's skipping a little step. He's already adding cards.
Yeah, but they're in contact, voice call, so it's all fine. Naval for search. So I guess Shifter again was important, but
you just don't want to pass afterwards. You want to have some active plays going. But Axel was just locked with the Shifter in the grave.
Right.
So it's a good card in Madolche, but it doesn't really help you with this strategy.
It's very similar to
Orange Light coming down.
Okay, that's strong.
It's strong, but it's also more fuel in the grave. It's not what you want to see as Axel.
So Axel still has 2 cards in hand, one of them being Hoot Cake.
Yeah, the Caress coming down.
What are the options for Axel here? Like, what are the other potential hand traps?
Hoot Cake in the hand. So next to that, it has to be...
It's game 1. Nibiru maybe? Yeah.
Nibiru maybe.
That's the only card.
I can figure it being another Madolche card, maybe another Magellan. Or Messengelato, maybe even another card you really don't want to see.
So Max definitely is an advantage. Definitely having Bear Brum on field, right?
Axel's counting the summons. He's not hiding that it is Nibiru in case it is Nibiru.
I mean, it could be, like a psychological thing to counter summons. Maybe give your opponent like the tell you have Nibiru, but
what are you going to use it for after, realistically?
Or if you don't have Nibiru, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, let's face it, is it going to work? Like, let's say if your opponent is like counting.
I mean, I'm just going to play out my turn.
Yeah.
Like, you have hands where you can play through Nibiru, you have hands where you don't.
Right.
And, picking up the cards again. Either Axel is really good at playing mind games, or he's trying his hardest to get a win out of nowhere.
So this
you might as well try, right?
Good.
There
it is Nibiru. Okay, so Axel is definitely still in the duel. The thing now is that Magellan is staying in the graveyard. Not sure if it's when they are destroyed and sent to the graveyard and sent back to the deck eventually. I think so. I can't remember. It has been a while. Last that I played or tried out Madolche. I think so. I think it just stays in the graveyard, but that's fine.
If Axel's not shuffling it back immediately, then I feel like it's
going
to stay in the graveyard.
So we know the last card in hand of Axel is indeed the Hoot Cake. So for next turn, that's strong, even though the Revolt is there. So Axel needs to top deck something to force out the Revolt, or like a Bell, but he's not running Bell. So I feel he's far behind, even though the Nibiru was big. A big token as well.
Max's place, but just took some while.
So he needs to top deck, like potential cards he could top deck, like a quick glimpse at his list.
Let's take a look. Salon can help Ticket or Chateau to shuffle back some cards. Not the tickets, of course.
Oh, we see. Let's not forget tickets for the potential beneficial summon, but I think you need to control, is it a light fairy? I can't remember. To get that beneficial effect. Not sure. I think so. So yeah, Revolt. As expected.
I cannot remember.
It has been a while, right? So again, the Hoot Cake is indeed going to get banished. So yeah, it depends on which cards he drew. Is it something that gets him back in the duel? That could turn the tides, but I'm just not seeing it. Which cards, like from his deck, could be it. He already used up his normal summon, and yeah.
Hoot Cake is not on summon, so I feel like that's gonna be the end, and that is
as expected. So Nibiru was there, was strong, but the fact that, as we've mentioned before, the normal summon of Madolche is crucial, unless, of course, there are no monsters in grave for the potential Petting Cessor. But I mean, that's how it is. Max played it out really well. So let's take a look. Side deck, which cards?
So the Contact C in Axel's deck, which worked wonders for him before, can probably come in again. Anti-spells are also solid. He knows he's going to go first. Since he's going to go first, Dimension Ground is also a very promising card.
Right. And I mean, as Madolche, again, you're definitely wanting to go first. You have your one-card combos. I mean, opening stuff like Petting Cessor or Angeli to immediately get something like Petting Cessor on the field. You can definitely play around Nibiru, or well, like play into it, but I mean, having something like Glass Soufflé, the rank 4 on field, gives you more protection plus potential follow-up play during your opponent's turn. So it's not good your opponent has Nibiru, but I mean, you have the option to play around it. Plus, Herald is still there.
Yeah, I feel like Axel's in a good spot. He has like the different dimension grounds, he has the anti-spells, he has the traps, but he needs to look at game 3 as well, and that's going to be a little bit more difficult.
Going second, yeah. I mean, the Shifter definitely put in work. How many Hoot Cakes is he playing? Probably 2, yeah. That's the most common ratio. Other than that, Nibiru, Cyframe, Gamma, is there other options like Contact C? Other than that,
Madolche.
No.
I don't know how you make this start. Is it generic or
no? In favor of Axel, potentially side decking it. Yeah,
you can do that definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I see Madolche still. My My guts says that Madolche is going to take the second game, especially because it's going first. Unless, of course, I mean, he could brick. That's always the case. But I feel this could be his game. But as you mentioned, the game number 3, where he is going second, he needs some powerful hand traps to stop, the standard combos from Tri-Brigade to go through.
So Ticket indeed says when you control a phase of very
right. So I think it's pretty common, right? Madolche running only 1 ticket, 1 Shadow, the field spell, because again you want to have.
You just want to search.
Yeah, you want to have. Did we see Messenger Gelato already triggering during?
Not
I don't think so.
Game
no.
yet.
Okay.
In this game.
Okay. So
Axel first. Yeah. Summoning the Angeli.
This is powerful. Let's say again your opponent having very similar to Rescue Cat, having Ash Blossom or any form of monster interruption. You could gamma that. So again, very strong. Petting Cessor hitting the board is an interruption going to be activated. So potentially, Veiler is fine. Petting Cessor again special summons from the deck and lowers the level of the Madolche monster summons. Ooh. Okay, that's strong, but it's
Is that right from there?
it's a big one.
Oh,
what's that? The Gamma? Oh, Gamma is really, really strong.
So that leaves only 2 cards. What could they be?
It's fine though. I mean, Petting Cessor is negated. Normal summon has already been used, so that's a big one. Only 1 set, which could be Promenade.
It's past turn.
Yeah, Veiler, Gamma.
Cessor cannot be destroyed with battle, so that's nice.
Right, because of Angeli. Yeah. So we see the Rescue Cat. That's really strong. So no interruption from Axel here. So
Promenade. Yeah. What could the set then be?
We see Gozen Match.
I don't know how Promenade works. Maybe
different dimension grounds. Something like that.
Activated that. Maybe Twin Twisters then? Or just a brick?
It's probably Gozen.
It's Gozen.
Okay. So what are the options now for Max? What can he do?
Both of the Tri-Brigades that he has on the field are negated because of the effect of Rescue Cat, because of its errata, of course. Mm-hmm. So I think it would be safest to go with Earth in case he does have one of those extenders. But he would rather have Dark for Shueik. So for now it's going to be kind of hard for him to deal with this. He can't just send the kit and use kit effects to search the cross to still get some plays going.
Right. He has a couple of cards in his hand still, while Axel only has 1. And again, we know that, right? That card in hand?
That is... Do we know the card in hand? I don't think we do.
No, it was in the previous duel, where the hood cake was searched. Yeah. Right.
So Max has to think through this turn very carefully, because he can still play, but it's difficult.
The thing though is that it reminds me of like those floodgates, like Rivalry of Warlords, Gozen Match, those cards that they could be quite common depending on the format, but it really takes a really experienced player with the deck to thoroughly play through like let's say Gozen Match. Yeah, like you have to keep track of your attributes or your types, for example. And that's where it comes down to the fact how much did you playtest with your deck, how in depth do you know your deck in and out?
He's gonna keep the kit. That's interesting.
So using the effects, okay.
This is not allowed.
Should we double check?
I know it is not allowed. The judges should.
It should be picked up.
Real quick.
Should be picked up. So, Angeli, yeah, that's cool. Herald is there. Like, what are the attributes? Like kits?
It's fire. Their one's also fire.
Right.
I'm not saying it's not allowed because of that, but due to Rescue Cat's errata, the monster effects are negated. So even though Max's copy of Rescue Cat might say that it's not negated, because it's an older copy, it still is because we are working with the
Alright, yeah. So hopefully...
Oh, they are going rather fast right now, so I hope that someone...
So normal summoning Messengelato. Messengelato is also one of those cards that you really don't want to draw into as a Madolche player. It's one of those cards that, just like the Madolche, well, Madolche spells and traps. I was about to say like the field spell, Shadow and Ticket. Those cards you'd rather just want to have in your deck to, here in this case with Messengelato, the level 4 to be special summoned from the deck. And of course, if you have like, let's say, Hooch Cake on the field, you can get a Search, Salon, or Shadow, or Ticket, and extend your combos, right?
Yeah. So the players stopped right now. I feel like they are stopped right now. Yeah, players have stopped.
Yeah. So what could happen? I mean, I guess you could like turn it around again.
Yeah, it's difficult because, of course, I don't think Max was gonna do anything. Anyway, let's take a quick look at the effect of Rescue Cat. Well, search Rescue Cat. You can send this card to the graveyard, special summon 2 level 3 or lower beast warrior type monsters from your deck, but they have their effects negated. Also, they are destroyed during the end phase of the turn. So this doesn't really stop anything necessary from happening. Okay, now he passed through, so that's kind of an issue.
Right. Okay, so passing on Glass Souffle. Glass Souffle, again, is an interesting card. It gives the deck, it gives Madolche the opportunity to play during her opponent's turn, and potentially, if you have like Ticket, for example, or Salon on the field, potentially, get those searches or special summons during your opponent's turn. So again, that's strong in favor of Madolche, but again, Tri-Brigade being stuck on the Gozen match, there is the Salon, giving Madolche the extra normal summon, plus Search, not to forget. I believe it triggers when, a Madolche card is sent back to the deck, or taken back to the hand from the graveyard, I think. Very similar to the other cards.
There's a whole lot of stuff happening right now, and I feel like they should freeze the game. So I'm not really sure what the holdup is, why no one is saying anything.
Okay, so Glass Souffle is being activated. Again, targeting, I guess, target any monster on field to make it, I guess, unaffected by monster effects. Probably targeting itself. Yeah, detaching and then, using Salon as well. Or potentially triggering it. Keep track.
Am I missing something?
Yeah, we might be missing something. Might be the case. So players are double checking. Not sure what is happening. All that thinks. Oh yeah, it's Max.
And they are. I think they are stopped now.
Yeah.
No, they are fixing that.
Yeah, I think they're rechecking what.
It's gonna be a difficult fix. Yeah. Because this changes what Max draws for turn, because the kit will be destroyed in the end phase, being able to send another Tri-Brigade, for example, on Revolt. But that all just cannot happen, and it's difficult to write that off as an accepted game state. So I'm going to be interested to see what's going to happen. So I think while they are fixing this, they should probably get back to us for a little bit, because this might take a little while.
Right.
All right. Yeah. So this happens. Of course, that's just the difficulty with erratas, but we are playing with the newest text. So if you want to have the newest text of all your cards, then definitely get Yu-Gi-Oh! What's it called? Neuron.
Yeah.
It's just Neuron for your phone, where you can just look at the card and read the card with its newest effect.
Yeah. It's very easy again for those decklists as well. But I mean, the thing now here with the normal summon, it was Kit. I mean, Rescue Cat for Kit would have been destroyed, right?
Yes, and then it would have been able to send your Vol for follow-up plays. But that also matters with how the deck is ordered. What they could now do, of course, we are not the judges, so we don't really know what we're talking about. But with our experience, what they could happen is the beer bomb is being removed from the field, and the Kit dies, and there is just no search. But it's a rather difficult situation that we are very glad to have a judge team for. So they are fixing that right as we are speaking.
Yeah, there are, again, judges directly watching the match, so...
Yeah, but even though, for example, because a lot of people are like, aren't they seeing this? But it's very difficult when you are looking at a table. You are mostly looking at like individual cards or what's happening or what's going on or the players. You are not actively paying attention to what's happening. You see it as commentators as well. It's very difficult to 100% understand what's going on unless you, for example, play the game on a daily basis.
That's true. I remember in again in the Remote Duel Invitational, when was it, back in October, November, a little under a year ago. Again, I was playing Monarchs, and I've been playing the deck like ever. And I remember in the first match, I think it was against the Italian player. He was playing dinosaurs, and eventually in like the duel, it was a really long duel as well. You're stressed, and I was using Aether, right, like Stormfort Aether during your opponent's turn, and I completely forgot to send 2 Monarch spell and traps from my deck to the graveyard. So even though you're so familiar with the cards, it's just like
it just happens.
Yeah, it just happens.
Playing through stuff.
Yeah. Even though it's so common, it's so easy, it's something you should know easily. But yeah, you might overlook it.
Yeah, it happens to me a lot of time with back row, like anti-spell, like where you activate an anti-spell and your opponent is like, I have to set all my cards in this your turn, and you're like, I guess this is our desires. Let me activate the desires. And you just completely forget that you are the player with the anti-spell.
Yeah.
It just happens a lot of the time, so it's only natural for this to happen. I would believe that, of course, Tri-Brigade is a brand new deck, and the kit version was only thought of after the Zodiac ban or the Trident Forbidden, and so he is new to the deck, so it's only fair that he just probably doesn't know what's going on, or maybe he has red kit for the cats.
Yeah,
but it's just not the Dusa cat.
Right. Yeah, the one with the errata. Right. Yeah, I remember Rescue Cat from like ages ago, back in 2009, Synchro Cat era, where you could like tribute it, or like normal summon Summoner Monk, discard the spell, get Rescue Cat, tribute Rescue Cat, search, let's say, double Airbellum or Airbellum Dark Panther, and then, maybe go to the battle phase, attack with Airbellum, discard the card from your opponent's hand, like those things, right? But with those erratas, cards change, cards can. It's not too common, but
it's not common that one of the erratas cards is seeing play.
Yeah, that's true.
There are a couple of cards like the Sengan and the Witch have been seeing play in true Draco decks where they tributed them off and searched an Ash. It's very innovative and fun to watch. And of course, the most upfront example is Imperial Order, which is still roughly the same.
Right.
All right. So we are just waiting until they are done with fixing the game state, and are getting back to that.
Right.
I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
We've like from the players' interviews, one of the questions was he asked about. Have you seen the live stream from last week? The
Yu-Gi-Oh! Next.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
I was at work at the time, but I said to my colleague, "All right, for 10 minutes, I'm not working anymore." And he was like, "It's very busy. Are you sure?" And I was like, "I don't care. I'm gonna watch this." And it exceeded my expectations.
Right. I remember I was like doing sports, and eventually, the live stream. I waited until it was over, and checked like the video when it was up on YouTube, and I was like checking it. Okay, Duel Links. Okay, cool. But then I believe it was the third one being like we saw Master Duel, and I believe it was revealed some time ago, but only the title, Master Duel. It could be everything, like a lot of speculation going. But then it was revealed that it was, going to be like a simulator, like using the.
It looks so good.
It looks astonishing. It looks really astonishing. Interested to see how it's going to, how it's going to connect like with like tournaments and maybe prepare players for like in real life tournaments. But we just got the message. The players are ready. The game state has been has been solved, so let's take a look. Okay.
All right. So the cards have been picked up. It was an irreparable game state due to, of course, the draw from both Axel and then also the draw from Max. And so it's unfortunate for Max, but I feel like this would have been Axel's game anyway. You're not going to be able to play through Go to match with only fire.
That's true. But the thing though is that I believe, do players need to roll the die again, or is it just Max that can pick going first? Because if that's the case, then
so
Max
what
again.
Happens when you have a game null situation? I am not sure what. I believe because it is the top cut, it's slightly different. But because there has been a game loss outside of a deck check, I believe that you just go into the next game and you can just start siding. What happens when you get a game loss in deck check? The person that got the game loss just says what happens and there's no siding.
Right, right. So presumably, again, if Max has the capability to, go first, he should definitely go first. Again, you don't want to, just like last time, run into Gozen match, or let's say a field of Sis starts.
There's not going to be any traps or fields right now. So.
Yeah. But as we've mentioned before, it's very easy to overlook. As you've mentioned before, if you're playing like with one of the older Rescue Cat cards, it's again something easy to overlook. So it can happen. It can happen to everyone, just like myself.
Exactly. You can lose a game to something you don't see, and you can make a game state that's theoretically not as legal as you wish it was, just because you are not 1000% familiar with all the cards, which is only logical, right? Like. Boot Sector gives your dragons 300 attack, which who knows that?
Yeah.
Who knows that? Nobody knows that.
Same with, and then I'm going back to Monarchs' Domain. Domain also has that effect, right?
800 attack.
Yeah, 800 attack. Some people forget, but it's only when your tribute monster attacks. But it's something that some people might overlook. But it was relevant back in 2016, right? Okay, so let's take a look. Who is going to start?
It's going to be Max. Max should be able to decide who's going to start this game because he was the one that received the loss.
Right. So who would you see winning this one? Who has the advantage here?
The advantage is definitely Timm. It's very based on whether there's a dimension shifter in the hand of Axel, which for him, I hope it sticks to his hand. But even then, game 1, we saw the shifter and it wasn't really doing much.
It was very different compared to we saw Shifter against Gabriel, Dragonlink, which definitely hurt Gabriel back then. But now it's kind of, it stopped Max in its tracks, but he wasn't able to capitalize on that. That's the thing. It's a good hand trap, especially for Madolche, but if you can't capitalize on that, it's not doing it.
It kind of reminds win after that, or activate Hidden City, Red Eyes Fusion after that.
Kind of reminds me of Droll. Again, Droll is also one of those cards that it's a well-timed Droll and a Lockbird could stop you directly in your tracks, but if you have as a follow player don't have any follow-up plays, then
you're just gonna continue where you left.
The Troll didn't do anything.
Fractal will be resolving this time. There was no shifter in the hand. So it's gonna leave the question, what other cards are in the hand of Axel?
So an early Desires, that's, I guess, fine. I mean, as we've mentioned before, the Tri-Brigade deck is running a lot of 3-off cards, so getting off that one of Desire, or at least the first Desire deck, hopefully staying with only one Desires, but you're losing some part of your engine, but because you're running so many 3-offs, you're kind of safe of getting off that first Desire. So Kit is indeed going to use its effects. One sets the Ancient Guardian Link hits the board, if not mistaken.
That's the old Dragon Lord.
Yeah.
He's just gonna pass on that.
Ancient Warrior.
That means that he already has the Revolt, so this is a fine play just to balance. I like that ancient double Dragon Lords.
Right. So well playing. Ooh, this is a big one. So Twin Twister forcing out, discarding the Contact C. Okay, so it was Solemn Strike. It wasn't Revolt. That's a big one. This could be big. Then again, is there Rootcake? Because again, Axel has a monster in his graveyard, so potentially Angeli for Rootcake could be a play. Yeah, there it is. Angeli for Rootcake. But again, Max again is running a lot of hand traps. So who knows? Potential disruption here, bouncing back the Angeli. Is a Salam there? Which could give Axel.
So unfortunate for Axel, by the way, that he drew Ticket 2 games.
All right, trigger. At least Ticket also triggers when it leaves the field. But you can't. Well, okay, you can get a search. Well, it could be important if he has Summon. Then he has the beneficial normal summon.
Then it could be huge.
That could be cool.
I see at the thumb right there. That's Salam.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter because still he has already the Angeli. So in case of Salon, you would just still know. Well, okay, depends. Depends if you want to have monsters in your graveyard, yes or no.
And the Nerval will search another card.
Ah, he passes.
I feel like Axel wasn't done his justice.
It might still be okay. I mean,
he has a Tri-Brigade in hand, even.
Be optimistic, who knows?
I know, but it's so difficult. Like, look at how Axel is sitting over there. I think that Axel also kind of knows exactly what's going on.
You're looking at body language, okay?
Yeah, exactly. I really would have liked Madolche to be the dominant deck, but it's so difficult to keep up with the Tri-Brigades. It's just so difficult because each term they're coming back with their resources and their searches, and it's definitely not an unbeatable deck. I mean, he had the Twin Twister, he had the Retaliating Sea, but this ticket should have been a Salon, and then Axel would have been the happiest guy on in the world. But,
kind of reminds me of Zodiacs. I mean, back in the 2017, Zodiacs with Broadbull and like every if you gave Zodiac another turn, it could search something from the deck and Undrident, reborn something. You know, it did so much. Same for Tri-Brigade. Only one card, give you a search, a special summon, search revolt. Like it does so much for the deck. But Axel is still in this. So normal summoning the Fractal. Then again, right? The link is still there. The normal summon is always getting bounced back. So potential outs, not too many.
Axel only have two normal summons.
Yeah, I think Salon is the only out here. He has monsters in his graveyard. He wasn't too lucky with, let's say, an early Petting Cessor.
Yeah. Set a card. That's. Would it be impermanence? Does he play it?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, telegraphing it being in the same column as Ticket. He needs to top deck something. Again, we see Angeli.
Another Angeli.
Yeah, which is probably going to get bounced back.
Or Impros, maybe even.
But then, yeah, okay. Yeah, indeed is going to bounce it back. Sending, was it Desires from his hand? Yeah.
You can also tribute from hand.
Again, he's going to get another search, but if there is no Salon following up...
Rootgate for the next turn. I'm afraid there will not be a next turn, because just on damage alone, the board is already almost 4,000.
Yeah, like one extra normal summon is going to seal the deal. Only 4,500 left.
Just a normal summon away.
Is there anything we might overlook? Why Axel would not concede? Like fair sportsmanship, just play it out?
It's not game, he's just attacking for damage. So indeed, fair sport. I mean, you are at the top 4. If I was in his seat, I mean, I've been at a remote invitational as well. Even though you know you are losing, first of all, there are multiple people watching, and you want to give your opponent a chance to, be victorious as well, in all its grace, and to play it out correctly. And it's Yu-Gi-Oh! You never truly lost, and you never truly won until all damage is done and your life points are 0.
Yeah. And now you see, again, Max wasn't able to pull through and deal the last damage, one set, so... This should be it, right? This should be it. Can Max do... At least bump out another monster? No. This should be enough. How much... No, it's not enough. No, not sure how much defense Angeli has. But it's not that much of Fractal will eventually...
So Axel just gonna play it out nicely, and then after that the double Dragon Lords will attack directly, and that will be enough with 1600 attack.
This probably is...
Yes,
yeah, indeed. Okay. It's very unfortunate, right? That's the thing we've mentioned again before with Madolche. If your normal summon gets bounced back here in this case, it's you need some specific cards to get yourself back in a duel. So great play by Max. Bit unfortunate with the rescue cat, but again, it's something easy to overlook, right?
Exactly. Well, congratulations to Max. Let's take it to the next one.
Right.